What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live afternoon show. And oh man, it's going to be a fun one. In case you have not looked at a chart in the last hour and some change, Bitcoin is pumping, Ethereum is pumping, altcoins are pumping. We've got to cover why that is and the significant levels you need to be watching, because even though we're pumping right now, there's a poll I believe in chat suggesting it isn't necessarily just a solid confirmation that we're bullish. There is absolutely a chance this could be a fake out. We could go back down to the downside. So we're going to talk about the levels on Bitcoin and other altcoins that we need to see recaptured by the bulls to feel confident that possibly new highs are coming. We also have some great news coming from Ethereum, both from Wales and the Ethereum Foundation, to make you be very bullish on Ethereum. And don't look now, but XRP possibly is waking up from their slumber. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Going to spend a lot of time at the end of the show in Q&A answering some of your guys' top questions. So stick around for the entire episode. If you haven't done it already, smash the like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss a single piece of content from the bros. But with that said, we got to roll an intro. All right. Here we go. Teach Room in the building. How we doing today?
Well, Tim, actually, today I'm better than I deserve. I really am. Yeah.
Good.
Definitely better. Good. How are you?
Listen, I am doing as well as I can. We're about to get into crypto stuff, but I was telling the community this morning, I honestly thought, I'm going to brag on myself here a little bit, but it's because of something I didn't think I was going to be able to do again. I thought after tearing my rotator cuff, I would never be able to bench over 400 ever again. I used to be kind of a thing of a stud back in college, but that rotator cuff terrible. This morning, I was able to get through. This is for all the gym rats out there. You guys will know about this. I was able to get 325 for 6 reps. And so that means that in theory, I should be able to bench 405 again. So that makes me feel really good. I'm going to be trying here in a couple of weeks. I'll probably video it, definitely be putting it in Discord. Maybe we'll show it on a live show. But I think, again, my shoulder's getting better. I think there's a chance I might be able to bench over 405 again here very, very soon. So I'm looking forward to that. That made me very excited. And then, of course, all of these green candles for the rest of the crypto space. It's hard to feel bad on this fine Monday.
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of crazy. I saw a tweet. Somebody actually got a picture of you at the gym. I don't know if you saw this, but this was you live doing your deadlifts.
Because I'm a redhead.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're having fun.
All right. We are having fun. It's time to get into.
Let's do it.
And check out the markets. Now, I saw someone chat here today. You can share my screen. We're going to start off by looking at bubbles. Someone said in a message the other day, they said, why do we need you guys to look at the bubbles? We can go do that for ourselves. Let us know in chat. Do you guys enjoy when we start off by just taking a look at the market and seeing what is up big, what is down? Some of you might go do this research for yourself. I think there's a lot of you that enjoy it, but give us feedback in chat. Do you want us just jumping right into charts, or do you like that we kind of start off by just analyzing the big movers of the market? Today we're going to do it, but if there's an outcry of people who hate it, we'll change it up. ZK, big loser in the last 24 hours. You're going to notice a lot of red here on the daily, hourly, a lot of green in play, but on the daily chart, we are still down. Like I said, ZK down 17, NOT is down 11%. Is that Stark? StarkNet down 9.4. Injective down 11%. That's one. That's quite a discount. You're going to have to go get some of that. Take a look, though, and this is going to come up in section 3 of the show. Our topic number 3, XRP, showing a little bit of life. It is up 5.8%, back up over 50 cents per coin. And we're going to talk about XRP just a little bit. There is a crazy prediction out there that we're going to have to address and deal with, but having itself a nice little day. Let's take a look at crypto as a whole inside of the top 10. Notice that says 66.8. Are we back? No, we're well above that, I think. Well, we're at 66.8. Okay, we came back down. We were just, right before going live for the show, we were over 67. We're back down here a little bit below it. That's okay. Technically, in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin in the green. Not by a lot, only 0.4%. But hey, it's in the green. Ethereum, Still over 3,500. It is down the last 24 hours, but that one I think tomorrow when we come back into the show, more than likely should be in the green. We'll have to wait and see about that in the next 24 hours. BNB slightly in the red. Solana is in the red 1.6%. XRP, as we said, biggest gainer in the last 24 hours, up 5, almost 6% there. Doge is down 2, Toncoin's down 2. Cardano in the green here, continuing to defend that 40-cent zone that I even mentioned this morning in our video. If you guys are not watching the 9 a.m. videos, you're missing out. That's probably because you're not subscribed. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything happening. Now, on the flip side here, go back to my screen one more time. We do have the biggest loser. It's not a top 10, but I'm going to go ahead and just count it up here. Shiba Inu is down, mysteriously down almost 6%, 5.5%. So it is not having the same type of good day that the rest of the top 10 for the most part is having. We'll have to check in on them again tomorrow as well. But this is what is causing everyone right now to a little bit show signs of excitement. Now, we're coming back down here. I'm showing you guys the hourly chart. Most times we stay on the daily and the 4 hour, but I felt like we needed to start out on the hourly chart to give you an appreciation for what is currently happening. We're cooling off here a little, but I'm not too worried, and I'll explain why. But I want to make sure you guys understand, what are we looking for? I saw earlier somebody asked in chat, should I be buying now or should I continue to have my lower price buy-in orders for a lot of altcoins in play? I will kind of address that as we go through TA. The biggest thing I want you guys to pay attention to, let's go to the 4 hour chart for this, and I'll come back to the 1 hour. The biggest thing I want you to pay attention to is this falling blue parallel channel, right? So these two blue lines. We did have a little bit of a fake out back here in June where price went above it, actually even closed a 4 hour candle above this blue level of resistance. But the very next candle ended up being a bearish engulfing candle, canceled out all of that positivity, and we came back down. We have been trading here again since pretty much back on June 4th. So breaking out of this is an extremely bullish thing that we need to do. In fact, I even want to go ahead and let you guys know a breakout, if we do end up closing multiple candles, let's get a couple now just so we prevent a fake out. If we can close multiple candles above this blue line right here, and let's turn this one just so I don't confuse you guys. Let's turn this one orange. Let's go orange. Go Gators. Blue and orange. If we can continue to close several candles above this blue line, the breakout potential here is coming back up to about 70K. All right, so that's where our potential is right now. And even though we come down here to the lower time frame, let me get rid of that line for a minute, and we have a blue candle in play that's bringing price back down, it's not abnormal after breaking through a significant level of resistance to retest that resistance as support. So I'm not necessarily overwhelmingly bullish right now because this could be a fake out. But I'm also not necessarily bearish right now during this small pullback, if we go back to my screen here, T-Shroom, because as long as we stay above this blue line, we could just be turning it back into support, and that would still be a very big win for the bulls. The other thing that has me very excited about this breakout is not just that we push the candles up through resistance. Take a look at this right here where we have some exceeding volume. Now, I've told you guys this before, but for anyone who's newer to the channel, maybe you don't know a lot about TA, this histogram bar down here, these are called histograms, they communicate volume, meaning how much money is coming in and out of every asset. And heavy volume, spike in volume, communicates two things. Number one, it can communicate reversals, as it did during these two spikes right here. You guys can see a big reversal come in with a big red histogram. Well, that was when we topped out and the price came back down. Over here, even though it's a red histogram, you can see that was the volume spiking, saying that we were done falling. It was time to bounce to the upside. So volume, heavy volume, can communicate reversal. However, the other thing that it does, especially when an asset is wrestling with a level of former resistance, volume can help confirm the breakthrough of that area. So seeing this spike in volume is a part of the reason why I'm feeling pretty good at the moment about this bullish breakout. However, I do want to see, again, multiple candles on the 1 hour chart and the 4 hour chart close above that blue line to make me feel uber confident that this isn't just a repeat of June 4th or June 12th, where we broke up for one candle and then quickly came back down below. Hopefully that all makes sense. But now the question becomes, all right, Tim, so what is the price level that makes us feel good about Bitcoin sustaining a longer term bullish trajectory? You guys can see here, going back to the chart, we have a nice double bottom, meaning twice we came down and fell to 65,000, hit it twice. For now, that's a good bounce. However, if we want to prevent coming down lower, possibly to a level I told you to keep an eye on around like 64,400, the things that we need to keep an eye on coming up with our LuxAlgo indicator. Above us, there is a smart trail, a bearish resistance level of a smart trail sitting here roughly around 68,400. If I go to the daily chart, you're also going to see we're wrestling with a really nice bearish breaker block, meaning all of this is a level that should have been support at one time, but we broke down through it and now can be utilized as some strong selling pressure to move the market back down. Guess where that level's coming in? Right there above where we saw that smart trail, around 68,500. As a whole, what I want to see price action do is get up above. And I know that's asking for a lot, because by the time we get up above 68,800 and we're wrestling with 69, now all of a sudden you're saying, all right, Tim, that's the confirmation the bulls are back in control. Where can we go from there? Well, I think the next level you got to wrestle with is the $72,000 level all over again. We're only talking about 3,000, right? So to confirm the bulls are in control, I need to see 69. And then once I know we're in control, I still have to watch about the wrestling with 72,000. As a whole, this is one of the things that frustrates and confuses investors the most. You can be risky here and look at a lot of indicators and try to predict a big movement, but I cannot lie to you, until we have broken this breaker block, this bearish breaker block, it's hard to know for certain the bulls are back in control. And then after that, the real test of can the bulls show their real strength is getting back above 72,000 and making our way towards new highs, right? So there's, as good as what the current move is, the smaller movement, there still are a lot of battles the bulls have to fight before people are going to feel super safe about their longer term investments. Now, I can tell you right now, zoom out just for a second. If you're worried and you're wondering, should I be selling my Bitcoin? No, you should not. If you zoom out, this is still an extremely, extremely bullish bull market. Even if we fall to lower levels, they're still on the long time frame going to be a lot more upside than downside. What I mean by falling to lower levels, coming back down to the 4-hour chart, even though we're breaking out of it right now, if the bears keep control, I think the price could fall back all the way down closer to 61,000 and keep in line with a rising level, this blue line here, a rising level of support inside another formation, very, very bullish. This is what we would call an ascending triangle, a flat top around 72,000, but a rising level of support. This could take us, as we've mentioned before, a very long and boring summer. This could take us all the way into August or September before a breakout if the boringness continues. But when the breakout eventually happens, this will send price of Bitcoin over $100,000. So that's your macro perspective on why you should not be freaking out. You should not be running for the hills. Continue to hodl and look for more ways to add to your Bitcoin. I'm seeing that right now all over the news, and we're not going to go into any details or any articles about it because we've seen enough of them. But the retail investor is still very skittish, still very scared about the long-term moves in Bitcoin. But again, you look at those charts and you see the long-term perspective. The whales and the institutional investors, they see the future. They know that Bitcoin is going to be bright. They're taking advantage of these dips. They're buying up every single time we drop down low. And if you're going to make a lot of money in the space, you got to take some risks as well and buy those dips right with them. Before we move on, though, it's only 3:15. That's going to wrap up the Bitcoin TA for right now. We're about to dive into Ethereum. A lot of big things happening in Ethereum, but let's check out what chat is saying here, T-Shroom, and address maybe some questions before we jump into the good old ETH. What are you seeing here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kyle Fields made a pretty good point, said the majority of people don't actually know what market manipulation is, Tim. You know, when I first got into crypto, it definitely wasn't on my mind. I kind of came from the stock side, and you know, there's definitely plenty of manipulation in the stock market, but it's not as rampant. It's not as predictable. It's a much larger market, especially when you're talking about the mega caps like Amazon or Microsoft. Manipulation is a little more difficult. So perhaps you could shed a little light on what is meant by market manipulation in crypto.
Yeah. Okay. So ultimately, I guess the best analogy for anyone who is newer to investing, especially in crypto, there's this thing of manipulation that you could compare to going back to your days of being in school, which is hard for me. I was homeschooled, so I didn't get to live this. But I watched enough movies and TV shows to know that in every good schoolyard movie, there was a big bad bully who would sometimes shake the kids out, sometimes upside down to shake out their lunch money, right? Manipulation is just a move by smarter and more wealthy investors to take advantage of newer investors who respond a lot more emotionally to movements in the markets. So ultimately, good investing would be buying all the low dips and selling all of the major tops, right? If you're perfect at investing, that's what you're doing. The manipulators want to mess with your emotions. A lot of times they do it via news, via even getting a hold of influencers and kind of paying them off to say certain things here and there. They ultimately are going to trick you into buying every single top and then selling every single bottom. Let me show you on the chart a good perspective of this, of what we kind of seen played out. During these time periods, right? Every single time we came up to 72,000, I bet you if you Google searched and looked at those time frames, you're going to find articles talking about prices going a lot higher, right? Very bullish articles that would make you emotionally want to buy more Bitcoin. Of course, price would go on to reject and move to the downside. And as you guys know right now, we're not even really that low, but there's a lot of articles printed in the last couple of days making you think that Bitcoin probably should be falling back down. The bull market might be over. Bitcoin should fall back down to 50,000 or even lower levels. You see that at almost every single bottom position. It's ultimately, again, the market manipulators' way, the whales of the space. They can control the media, they can control the news, and they will make you FUD out when it's the best time to be buying. They will make you FOMO into a buy signal when it's actually the best time to be selling. That is what market manipulation is. And if you're newer to the space, it's going to happen to you. But following channels like Investing Bros will help you sort through the FUD, the FOMO, the fake news, and the real news so that your investing is actually going according to plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And Warren Buffett says that the markets in the short term are a casino. In the long term, they're a proper scale balance of value, right? So manipulation happens in the short term. So if you're a long-term investor, you have a little bit of an edge. Doesn't mean that you can't make money trading, though, in the meantime. Well,
Very
that's
true.
I was seeing some other heat in the chat as well.
Yeah, there are more. What we're going to do, I saw a lot of people asking about certain coins, people asking about ONDO and others. I know KV had some questions. Stick around, guys. We're going to go and get into Ethereum. It's 3:18. Let's get into our second topic. But before we do, you guys, we got over 600 people already in here. You guys got to smash that like button. How many we currently have? My unrefreshed page says 8. That's wrong. We have 109. A lot of you guys have not smashed like. Go ahead and do that. Quick shout out, though, before we get into Ethereum, to the sponsors of this video. The first one I think is very relevant to you guys because I think a lot of you are asking, man, how to go buy some of these altcoins that are super low. BloFin, if you go to my screen, BloFin is the sponsor. This is our trading exchange we use here for Investing Bros. You're going to go get it right now. You can trade on leverage. We recommend being cautious there, but you can trade on leverage. You can have market orders, limit orders, and you have over 270 different trading pair options. Most altcoins, I'm not going to say every single one, but most altcoins you're thinking of right now that you want to trade and make money on, you're going to be able to find it here on BloFin. But even better, when you guys sign up with BloFin using our link down below, and you go into Discord and show us that you used our link and we have your UID, we're going to start doing weekly giveaways to our BloFin traders in Discord. So make sure you go check out our free Discord, buy BloFin, sign up, put money in there, start trading, because every single time you post one of your trades, you will be eligible to win a $50 trading bonus. But you do got to sign up with our link on our link alone to get that potential win. With that said, though, T-Shroom, we're going to save our other sponsor for the next segment. Let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum. Before we jump to the charts, I know there's some articles talking about some big moves happening. Let's start off with whales. What are Ethereum whales doing right now?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you were showing me on the charts. Some really good stuff, but these articles are also spitting some fire. Ethereum whales accumulate 700,000 Ethereum amid bearish market sentiment. It's just a little bit crazy, and the title says it all. I did have one thing highlighted here. Despite early excitement, prominent financial institutions like JP Morgan have expressed skepticism regarding Ethereum ETFs, forecasting only modest investment inflows. This conservative outlook has tempered market expectations through the final decisions on ETF approvals by SEC chairman, maybe you've heard of him, Gary Gensler, remain awaited over the summer. So we actually just talked about market manipulation. The media is one of the ways that JP Morgan manipulates the markets. Again, in the short term, it's a casino. In the long term, it is a balance of value. So that is a lot of whale movement, though, Tim. What do you think is going to be the result of this?
Well, ultimately, when whales are buying, before we even go to the charts, this is just some further education for anyone who's newer to investing space. When we say whales, we're talking about people that own a large portion of Ethereum. I don't know if I know off the top of my head how many Ethereum they have to own to be considered a whale, but theoretically speaking, we're talking about people that don't just own $1,000 here or a couple Ethereum here. We're talking about people that own more than likely hundreds, if not thousands, of Ethereum supply. They're wealthy for a reason. They're wealthy because they've made good calls in the past. So therefore, they're what we call smart money. Whales are smart money. You want to do whatever the whales are doing. In this case, if the whales were selling, and we had a lot of on-chain data saying the people with the largest accounts were selling off their Ethereum, you would want to be selling yours as well because a dip is coming, if not already in play. But we're seeing an article talking about how much the ETH whales are buying. Despite the fact that price is down, why do you think price is down? Because the retail investor, or what we call dumb money, they've been freaking out, falling for the manipulation and selling all of their Ethereum right into the hands of the whales or the smart money. They're buying over 700,000 coins have been bought here, according to this article, and therefore, that's what you guys want to be doing here as well. Again, we're going to talk more on the charts here in a second, but it's not just the whales that are causing us to be bullish about Ethereum. The Ethereum Foundation is actually doing something. And T-Shroom, I think you have some more information on that. And then I'll kind of break down for people so they understand what to do with that information.
Absolutely. The Ethereum Foundation's $64 million ETH purchase marks a shift from recent sell trend. Let's get into some of the details here for this one. It's fascinating. So 64 million equals about 18,000 ETH. Approximately. This transaction was verified to be occurring yesterday, June 16th, and stands out for its sheer size and the implications it may carry. The transaction details become public through various blockchain analyses. This was the analyst that brought it to our attention. This was AI 9684XTPA, whoever you are out there. Anon. In recent months, the Ethereum Foundation had predominantly engaged in sell-side transactions, raising eyebrows across the financial sector. This shift back towards purchasing, especially on such a significant scale, could indicate a strategic repositioning. The Foundation's previous sales have been regarded as regularly monitored, including a recent transaction where it sold 200 ETH for 744,000 DAI. That's a stablecoin at the price of 3,724 per ETH, which is a lot less than what it just bought. So that's a pretty stark shift. I would agree with the title. Does the Ethereum Foundation kind of count as a whale? In my book, it absolutely does. What does this mean to you, Tim?
Yeah, there's nobody. It's not that the ETH Foundation knows with 100% certainty where the price is about to go. But in the same way, if you guys know what Bitcoin miners are, Bitcoin miners seem to have the best understanding of where Bitcoin price is about to go based off of when they're buying and selling. The Ethereum Foundation is going to have one of the top levels of understanding about what price is about to do. So a lot of times we have seen it when you see the wallets of the ETH Foundation start to move that have been publicized by the likes of Arkham. Sometimes Arkham does things that I disagree with. This is one of those things, and I'm like, okay, this is actually very convenient that they've made it public which wallets belong to the ETH Foundation. A lot of times the movements when you're looking at top levels of price action, as T-Shroom just explained, back when we were up closer to 4,000, you'll see them make movements that probably imply we're going to see at least a small correction. But now that we've pulled back, we actually pulled back down below 3,500 temporarily. Now that we see those movements happening, as this article suggests, this movement actually looks like, especially in light of what Ethereum is looking to do over the next 2 weeks or so with a live ETF trading, it looks like the Ethereum Foundation is repurposing their crypto back into cold wallets to get ready to run to the upside. So we have the whales buying, we have the ETH Foundation making wallet moves after a correction in price, which both of those would suggest buying should be happening on Ethereum. The price should be going to the upside. If you guys come over to my screen here, take a look at what Bitcoin did right before the ETF went live here as well. Of course, we had between October of 2023 and the actual approval date here in January, a big run up. Even as we got closer to the day of the live trading, Bitcoin would go on to have a nice spike. It would shoot up to about 49,000. It would have a decent sell-off. You want to talk about market manipulation? This is a perfect example of market manipulation where a very bullish thing happened for Bitcoin. There was a very quick, very bleeding 20% pullback in price before the price would go ahead and take off and set new all-time highs before the halving event. That's a completely different conversation. My point is, when Bitcoin's ETF went live and was being traded, the price shot up, had a little bit of volatility, but ultimately led to massive gains, not only in Bitcoin, but the rest of the crypto space as well. I believe something similar is going to happen here with Ethereum. Do not be surprised as we get closer to the date of Ethereum's ETF trading to see it. I believe will break over 4,000 and probably get closer to former all-time high around $5,000. You might see some volatility where we sell off after, there may be a little bit of a buy the rumor, sell the news event, but I still see the long-term perspective of Ethereum with these ETFs and other massive things that the Ethereum Foundation is working on. I still see Ethereum shooting way up and to the right, and I keep running out of real estate to draw. Ultimately, if you guys have been watching my channel, go check out my Ethereum price prediction video where I talk about, I believe by the end of 2025, ETH could be sitting somewhere between $18,000 to $20,000. If you were someone buying even right now, maybe you didn't buy this big dip we had back in October, that's okay. If you bought now, you're still looking somewhere around a 5 to 6x on Ethereum price before this bull market is over. Some of you, crypto people might say 5x. Ugh, that's nothing. But if you've maybe migrated recently from the stock market world, that is massive. If you've never invested before and you're listening to this saying, man, I got $100,000 I want to invest, you're saying within the next 12 to 16 months, my $100,000 could turn into 500,000. Sign me up. Well, if that's exciting you need to be a part of this channel where we talk about a lot of other altcoins. There are some coins that I definitely still believe have upwards of 20x, some of them even closer maybe to 30 or 40x, but Ethereum still what I consider a very safe, a very reliable investment that, again, can 5x your money in the next year. Again, why do I say that? Because everything we're watching in the news, everything we're seeing on the charts from a larger perspective, when we're on taking a zoomed out perspective, everything is screaming up and to the right. Let's check out what Ethereum's doing right now on a shorter time frame. Let's come down to the 4-hour chart. A couple of weeks ago, a week and some change ago, we did tell you guys, look for a bearish breakout to bring Ethereum price action down here to 3,400. That's exactly what it did. So we have the bearish pressure on Ethereum where we broke out of a symmetrical triangle pattern to the downside. We have fulfilled that market breakout. That needs to go away. Now the question is, what is next? Let's take a look at what's happening here with our indicators. You guys can see currently, even though we came back to the downside, we've recently bounced off of a strong level of support here around 3,400 where we have a smart trail. We have a take profit and a strong order block coming closer up here towards 3,700. So to me, as the bulls start to kind of take more momentum here, we are dealing with a bearish breaker block. But to me, the level I'm watching next, in the same way for Bitcoin, I'm probably going to be watching what happens as we get closer to 70K. I want to see what happens with Ethereum around 37, where there's going to be probably a good amount of reasons for people to be selling. You'll even see here in the order block we're looking at, if I were to zoom in, I just actually finished teaching this to some of our VIP traders, but this LuxAlgo order block is communicating that there's a lot of bullish pressure that's already been used that will be exhausted by the time we get to this price. So even though, even though there's a lot of bearish pressure here as well, seeing a large green bar, you would think that would be positive. That's not necessarily the case. That's actually communicating right now. There's probably a lot of people who have longs on Ethereum that will want to take profit when we see 3,700. So to break above that and go higher, as I'm suggesting on the longer term, and getting back up to 45, 5,000, that's going to take a lot more bulls coming in. But it's things like whales and the Ethereum Foundation buying up and holding their Ethereum that make me believe that's doable. Let's just continue to watch 3,700 as the bulls continue to push here. Let's watch to see what happens around 3,700. If we can break above, that's a good reason to be very, very long on Ethereum and possibly look for new all-time highs coming near or a little bit after that Ethereum ETF. More reasons why I'm a little excited here is because I think that the oscillators are starting to call for it. We have our stochastics RSI has been overextended for a while. The RSI is just now about to cross back up over the 50 line. That's a major bullish thing here as well. And then here, the oscillator, while we were temporarily under a sell order for Ethereum with bearish reversal, bearish momentum, and technically negative money flow, that money flow and the momentum of the market does seem to be curving and looks like it wants to flow back up to the upside. If I were to come out to the daily chart too, MACD looks like it wants to cross bullish, and we're waiting on money flow to go positive. But if that money flow starts to go positive on the daily, look out for Ethereum to make a big, big splash to the upside. That's what's so crazy is there's a lot of buying happening right now, and we're still under a very bearish day here for Ethereum. But check out that long wick down below. Let's see where we can close on Ethereum. If we can turn this candle white and have 4 white candles in a row, 4 bullish candles in a row, I'm starting to like my probability of getting up above 3,700 and making a push closer to 4,000 in the next week or so. Still a tall order. I want to make sure I just said a lot of positive things. I want to make sure you guys understand. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. There is resistance sitting right above us. There are big order blocks here down below us that could still be in play. People asked that way earlier. Tim, are we going to go any lower? Here's what I want to kind of get into, and we'll do more altcoin charts later. We're actually about to get into XRP. I want to show you some stuff on XRP. But this is the frustration of investing and trading that a lot of people get discouraged with, and you have to learn to embrace it. I cannot promise you that Ethereum price is going to do nothing but the upside. I cannot promise you that we won't just go up and to the right, but I also can't promise you that we won't drop down even a little bit further. As we talked about earlier, there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of manipulation in play. And so this is one of those things, if you have dry powder you're looking to expend right now, we're not seeing all the signs in Ethereum and Bitcoin and altcoins saying for sure the bulls are back in control. We're seeing the beginning signs. So effectively, what you might want to do, let's pretend, and again, this is not financial advice. I'm just giving you this for educational purposes. Let's pretend you had $1,000 and you're saying, Tim, I really wanted to hold that $1,000 for Ethereum until we got down. Let's go on the daily chart. Let's just take a look at this thing. I really wanted to hold until we revisited 3,300. Okay, let's just pretend you said I wanted to buy at the smart trail. I want to hold that. I can't promise you we're not going to hit that. I also can't promise you we will hit it. What you might want to consider doing is making a couple plans here. I'm going to go ahead and deploy $500 right here at current price action, right at 3,500. And if the price shoots to the upside and gets above 3,700, I'm going to purchase even more. And this is a bad example because there's some resistance right here. But let's just say you get above 37. I want to purchase the rest of my 500. If we see 3,800, I want to purchase at 3,800. Now all of a sudden you have an average buying price somewhere in here around 3,600. However, that's a better buying order than if you were waiting for 33 and it never comes and you never make an order until Ethereum's sitting at an all-time high. On the flip side, let's say we do go back down, but you want to protect yourself by putting $500 in at the moment at $3,500. Well, now all of a sudden, let's pretend price does come down here and get back down to 3,300 and makes a bounce there. Well, now I've deployed my other 500 in here at 3,300. Instead of having an average price of only 3,500, now my average price is going to be somewhere closer to 34. Is it as good as 33? Not necessarily, but you do not know what is next. And all you can know when you're trading is probabilities, and you have to trade responsibly based off those probabilities. You don't want to miss out on if the dip is over, but you also don't want to put everything in here in case there's a better opportunity down the line. That is very confusing, and ultimately I can teach more of that to our VIP traders. Make sure you come and join by purchasing LuxAlgo. But T-Shroom, does that make rational sense to you as a strong strategy for long-term investing?
Oh, it absolutely does. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think you got your finger right on the pulse of what folks need to know right now who are looking to trade and invest. But yeah, if you're just getting into the space, man, Tim, you're firing all cylinders. You're definitely got your finger on the pulse there, and I'm definitely loving it.
Well, sure. We're going to transition here in just a second into our third and final segment. But again, shout out to our other sponsor of the channel. This was a fun one. Again, I want to see you guys. If you have no plans between July 25th and the 27th, come see me and T-Shroom in Nashville for the Bitcoin conference. There is a link down below. You can go buy tickets today. Again, I want to see you. You guys come see us. It would be an absolute blast. There's going to be hundreds and thousands of other people. This is the biggest crypto conference of the year. It is always an absolute blast, and I'm excited. It used to be in Miami. No offense to Miami. Some people love Miami. I'm not the biggest fan of Miami. I moved out of Florida about a year and some change ago. I want to go further north. I cannot wait to experience this in Nashville, Tennessee, and I can't wait for you guys to be there with me. Go sign up with those tickets down below.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Before we go to the charts here, T-Shroom, I think you have an article about XRP, and there's kind of a prediction being made here that I want to explore with people, especially people who are newer to the space. But what's happening in this article?
Oh, Tim, we've got a hot one here. Is Ripple on the brink of a major breakout? This article references some interesting TA here. I've pulled it up. Yeah. This is from the Twitter account Eggrag Crypto. And this is essentially the argument that's been made. This is the hypothesis. It's mainly based on these triangles that are kind of coming together. Tim, I want to get your take on this. See, the next triangle consolidation, it would calls for a 914% increase from current prices today. What do you think about this?
Yeah. So let's just break down even on T-Shroom's screen what we're looking at here. Well, actually, I think I have it on mine. And I think it might be easier if I go to mine.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. This might be easier. All right. So I want you guys to pay attention. It might be hard to see it exactly, and I'm trying to zoom in. Is it not going to let me? It's like not letting me. All right. That's stupid. I don't know why it's being like that. All right. So the rationale I think that this person is going for is, again, based off of when it first came out here back in 2013. So XRP has been around for a while. It talks about the opening of a triangle in play. And then it comes over and says, when we had a breakout, the breakout in price went from somewhere in the realm of less than 1 cent all the way up here to closer to 20 cents, right? Before it opened up a brand new triangle. And this triangle had an opening of a 458% beginning, okay? If you're not used to technical analysis, there's probably a lot there you don't understand. The point is, he or she, I actually don't know who put this chart up. They're trying to use historical XRP price percentage movements to communicate what's going to happen in the future. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand, because I don't know the exact numbers, but I think you guys with rational thinking brains can do some work here with me. The move from 1 cent to 20 cents, while the percentage is astronomical, is a lot easier of a move than going from, say, somewhere around 60 cents to all the way up to, again, by the way this triangle is going, we're talking about $240 is his hypothesis. Let's go into my chart and kind of explore this. He's pretty much saying we're going to see a repeat move where we at first break up to, I think, based off what he's saying, I think his original move is the triangle will start out somewhere here around probably $8. Little high for my take, but you know what? I don't think that's the end of the world. Let's just kind of break this out. I don't think that's the craziest prediction I've heard about XRP. Where it gets crazy is by saying, oh, well, the last time when we opened up a triangle like this, we jumped what was his percentage? Let's go back and check it out. We jumped 4,500%. Oh, we should do the same thing again. And we should go from this $8. That's just the beginning of the bull market. We really should go ahead and skyrocket 4,500% again, giving us a price action. Actually, I don't know how he got his. Let's go down. Yeah, actually over 300. $300 per coin. There's this thing, if you're newer to crypto, called a market cap. If I were to go over here and look at XRP, the way you get a market cap, this is the total amount of money invested into XRP. And I know XRP has a lot of different things in its, supply. Let's pretend though that we were going to go to 2025 and this supply stays the same, around 55 billion tokens, 55.5 billion tokens, but we want to see what the market cap would have to be to get this price from 51 cents, let's just say $300. I want you guys to see the ludicrous prediction being made here. Got to move my calculator over, it's on the wrong screen. All right, right. So what we have to do here, if I'm right, we have to go 55.5 billion. All right, so let's get all these commas in place. Make sure those correct. Is that right? 1,000, million, billion. All right, there we go. 55.5 billion times $300. This would give us a market cap of 1,000, million, billion, 16 trillion, $16.6 trillion for XRP. Ladies and gentlemen, not only will XRP not do this by 2025 with its current market cap sitting at a mere 28 billion, it probably won't do this by 2030. I think it will take XRP. I'm not saying XRP will never have a market cap of 16 trillion, especially as the dollar continues to be inflated year in and year out. But this is going to take a long time before it's actually doable. This scenario of it happening possibly before the end of 2025, there's not a lot we can say other than the word ludicrous. And I'm very surprised T. Sheeran has not pulled up a picture of Ludacris during this whole conversation. And that somewhat disappoints me. I want you guys to know, I'm sure he's going to bring it up now. But I'm not going to FUD XRP. I've told you to this point, while I have become less bullish on XRP over the last couple of months, I continue to hold a small bag because if you go back to my screen here, T. Sheeran, before you give me a good picture of Ludacris, and probably his 473 kids. I don't necessarily think $7, $8 is a crazy call for this time period. In fact, we go back here. If we were to go back and say, all right, let's say 55, and again, the supply is probably going to increase, but let's just pretend 55 billion tokens times $7. I could see. I don't think this is going to happen. I think XRP will be lower than this. I have XRP, I think, a little closer to like $5 to $6. But $388 billion, that's actually doable. That's actually a reasonable thought for how high XRP could get, right? Not $300, not $16.6 trillion. So anyone who's new, who's saying, should I be buying XRP? You're not going to see $16 trillion. I'm just telling you right now. However,
Tim, I think that $16 trillion honestly would be a little ludicrous. And there was actually, I don't know if you saw this, there was a picture of an investor, a serious Wall Street investor, who they told him 16 trillion was going to be the market cap of XRP. This was his reaction. So,
that's about right.
So we're having fun. We're doing a little bit of crypto analysis.
Smart kid. I'll make an XRP price prediction video in the next couple of weeks. I actually have a couple I need to make.
You should.
The markets have been so volatile recently. I've had to make so many videos with short-term price movements that I haven't had time to sit down and do all of my analysis for a lot of long-term stuff. So I'll be back to those. If you guys have missed them, I've done plenty of them already. Got more coming out this week. Look forward to that. This is what XRP is doing that is bullish. This is the daily chart right here. And there is a significant level of resistance around 56 cents that I want people to be aware of and say, you know what? That's going to be a big target to get above there to feel overwhelmingly bullish. But you're not going to see a lot of coins this bullish today. In fact, take a look over here on this right side of my screen, especially these numbers on the far right. If you're on a phone, these might be a little blurry, so I'll have to read them out to you. But you can see the colors red and green, right? So Bitcoin is green, just barely up 0.2%. Almost everything else on my watch sheet is in the red. This is coming down to Clean Spark and Mara. Don't count those. As a whole, everything on here is majorly in the red except for a couple charts. One of them, this one right here, this is the XRP over Bitcoin chart, up 5.8%. And of course, XRP almost up 6%. It is having a great day today. Why? Because it was sitting on such a strong level of support. When you zoom back out, one of the things that guy did have correct is, yes, XRP has been in this very, very long-term symmetrical triangle pattern, and I do predict that we will move to the upside. So when you come in here and you zoom in, seeing us on this strong level of support, there's really mostly only one way XRP can go, and that's to the upside. Like I said, to feel overwhelmingly bullish, I do want to see, I think the first one is getting over 53, getting over this daily smart trail. The next one, we're on a buy order right now, but I want to see this historical level of both support and resistance. I want to see it recaptured by the bulls. Let's get above 56 cents. And then the ultimate one, let's get above this yellow line and stay there. Let's not just have some casual fake outs like we've had here for a couple of candles on the daily chart earlier this year, within the last 12 months. Let's get multiple daily candles closed above 61 cents, above this yellow line. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what would give us the potential breakout for XRP to do something like this and make its way, let's come over here and take a look here, to make its way somewhere closer to $5, maybe $6, depending on where we're going to look. I think a market cap for XRP getting into the $150 to $200 billion place, not a problem whatsoever. Even though they have a lot of other things I'm worried about with XRP for their long-term future, I absolutely can see 200 billion coming to crypto, coming to XRP. But 16 trillion, no, 16 trillion is not coming to XRP for a very, very, very long time. That is going to wrap up our planned segments. Thank you for that, T-Shroom. As you guys prepare, it is time to get into Q&A. I told T-Shroom before the show, I said, hey, listen, sometimes we pack the show with so much planned stuff, we don't give the chat any time to ask questions and to dive into some of their favorite coins. So I told him, no matter what happens, we are going to be done by 3:45, and I was wrong because it's 3:47. So this is a slap for 1 minute, and this is a slap for the second minute. It won't happen again, everybody. I'm going to make sure that you guys get Q&A from here on out. While I'm waiting for your questions in chat, T-Shroom, do we have a factoid of the day?
Yes, we do have a factoid of the day brought to you by the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. Yes, so okay. today's factoid is as follows. What bird is this, Tim? You got to give an answer while it's playing. Is it the woodpecker, the mockingbird, the northern cardinal, or, Tim, is it D, the American robin?
Can a mockingbird make like any sound? So that's kind of a cheat code. I don't know what sound woodpeckers make in terms of chirping, but I know they make the sound where their beak hits the tree. I don't know what sound robins make either. I have cardinals here in Georgia, but they wouldn't be northern. I don't know. Are there northern cardinals here in Georgia? What kind of cardinal do I have?
Sounds like you don't really know your cardinals there, Tim.
I really don't know my birds whatsoever. I don't trust birds. I would never own one as a pet. If Brody ever comes to me and says, Dad, can we get a bird as a pet? I will laugh at him because there's no way that's happening. I would get a snake for a pet before I got a bird for a pet, and I'm probably not doing that either. I'm going to go northern cardinal because I see one in my backyard pretty much every morning. I'm completely fine with him being out there. I just don't want him inside my house. Let's go see northern cardinal.
Mockingbird. You were way off, Tim.
Fair. It's not fair because they can literally make any sound they want.
So on the official Mockingbird page from wikipedia.gov, you can hear this, and it is the same thing. And Tim, you lost. How does it feel?
Again, I don't count this as a true loss because a mockingbird can mock other birds. That also could be the cry of a cardinal. I just want to say that could have been a cardinal, and we will never know because the elf didn't look that detail up.
I think you're being pretty presumptuous to think that it's a cry. It could be a celebratory exclamation, right? It could be a lot of things. So sounds like you got a lot to read up on in terms of bird calls and bird cries and the differences therein.
I can guarantee you very few things in the world of crypto. What I can guarantee you is I'm going to not use any of my precious free time researching the calls of birds.
That's
It's
right.
just not going to happen.
But either way, that was our factoid of the day, brought to you by the BBC.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's get into some Q&A. Now, I saw a couple of people asking about Cardano. Here's what we're going to do, guys. I love Cardano. I'm not going to answer Cardano questions today. We've actually talked about Cardano like in every single video for the last couple of them. Some of you love Cardano, some of you don't love it. So I've been making Cardano fans happy now for over a week. I'm going to make anti-Cardano fans happy today by saying, you know what? Let's give Cardano a little bit of break. Let's talk about them in a different time. If you're in my VIP trading group and you ask for me to look at Cardano, I will always look at Cardano. But on the live show, I'm going to give Cardano a little bit of a break. Ryan Shoots and T-Shoom, keep an eye out for other good questions.
Oh, I will.
That's good. I'm glad you would. Should I long ONDO here? I have a long open from 80 cents currently. So Ryan, let's start off by saying you have a long from 80 cents. Beautiful job. Don't close that one out. Let that one ride for a while. Let's go take a look at what. Let's go take a look at what ONDO is doing. Now, this is one that I told even my VIP trading group before we had a little bit of a bullish rally here. Again, within the last kind of 4 hours, I said, don't be surprised if we see closer to $1 come into play. Let's turn on and look at some things kind of going on here. Was it the daily chart that I was looking at for that one? Yeah, the daily chart. We are currently after breaking today, but now see, this is the confusing part. This is why you have to sometimes wait till the end of the day. We were wrestling with the daily support level of the smart trail. 110 was going to be a level to keep an eye on. We wicked all the way down to 105 today, right? And then this blue line briefly was showing that we had broken it and we actually had resistance above us. If we close lower, then this is going to be stay intact. But if we can close today on ONDO above 110 and keep this smart trail as a level of support rather than breaking through it, we could avoid this take profit order down here at 98 cents. So if anyone watched Saturday's show, don't go back and watch it, please. If you did, though, you were there for a very impassioned, confusing Tim, right? I was trying to break some things down, but I would make sentences and I'd do the math. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. And then I'd do some other things. I was like, wait, that's not what I said. And it was probably one of my finest moments on YouTube of looking like a complete idiot. The point still stands, though. I made a statement. And this is a big if I see a 90-cent ONDO, I do not think that we're dropping more than 50%. I might take a sizable chunk and throw on a nice 2x on that bad boy. If I see a potential 80 to 75 cent ONDO, I might throw a nice 3x on that. Got some strong support. If you show my screen here, T-Shirt, very strong support at 74, 75 cents. Not only is this the more aggressive take profit, very strong, very firm order block right here. Remember I told you guys about these lines? That long red line means there's probably a lot of people who are shorting ONDO right now that if we were to hit 75 cents, they will take their profit because they are not confident about it moving down whatsoever. So that's a level that if I ever got it, I would just be very happy. The problem is I don't know if I see that happening. I think that ONDO's sitting in a very strong position, especially as we're rallying back up today. If we can continue to hold up here at 110, stay above it, and keep that smart trail in play, we could end up making a move back up to the upside. What level am I looking at? Probably to feel confident about that bullish narrative kind of keeping up. Let's get above this smart trail, the red resistance smart trail on the 4-hour chart. Let's get back up to around 130. 130, and I'm going to feel pretty confident that there's really not any lower we're going to go. It doesn't mean that we couldn't see the price action potentially come back down to like 120, 121, 119. But I'm saying if we can rally back up above that, I think that would probably speak very highly of the Bulls' ability to defend 110, 105 as never needing to go back down below it. I want to make sure you guys understand when we're looking at dips, I cannot promise you the dips are over even now. Again, Bitcoin is kind of coming back down. I told you as it probably would. It's still making its way back down to a former level of resistance, maybe support. But when we're looking at dips, it's only a matter of time we're looking at them. Because when I look at Bitcoin and I look at Ethereum and I look at altcoins as a whole, I've told you guys The chances for dips kind of take us into maybe August. Until we break new highs for Bitcoin, as long as we're trading sideways, maybe through, I don't want to say probably, maybe through August, there's a chance we could look for lower possibilities. When August, September comes and Bitcoin and Ethereum and altcoins start to rally to the upside aggressively, you want to have already gotten all of your dip positions. So it's one of those things, I think I said it earlier. Can I guarantee you, can I promise you that we will never drop below 105 or we'll never drop below 112 ever again? No, I can't. There's a possibility of 100. There's a possibility of anywhere between 90 to 75 cents. I cannot promise you we won't hit that. But what I can't promise you either is that the price of ONDO won't look like this, right? So what I'm doing, again, let's pretend I have $1,000 I want to invest in ONDO. I'm probably going to put 500 of it right here, right? I'm going to probably say, all right, if I wanted $1, let's pretend I wanted $1 for ONDO or 98 cents. I'm going to buy 500 here. And if the price action does fall back down below $100 and goes toward 98 cents and bounces, and I hit the wrong thing, excuse me. Let's come back here. There we go. Let's pretend this happens and I go back to the upside. Well, now I'll take the other $500 and I'll purchase, boom, right in here. Guess what my average buy-in is? 105, 106, right in that area. Well, yeah, 106. All right. 106 is a better average buy-in than putting the full 1,000 in right here at 112. But on the flip side, let's pretend we don't dip. Let's pretend that price actually ends up bouncing and going back to the upside. Well, I might go ahead and say, you know what? Let's put our buy order in right here. Actually, we'll just grab this one. Let's put our buy order in up here at 121. Or actually, I said 130. Let's go 130. I want to put it at 130. Now, all of a sudden, I have an average buy-in right here in this kind of rough area around 121, 122. Is that as good as 112? No, but it's better than waiting until 130 to where it's super bullish. This is how you, again, on average, protect your investment to get the lowest average buy-in possible and make a lot of money long-term. That's what I'm doing with ONDO right now. I am not necessarily waiting for lower levels because I cannot promise they're coming, but I also cannot promise they're not coming. And a lot of people don't like that, but that's ultimately the world we have to live in. Morgan Powell gave a super chat, AIOZ long-term pro prediction. Part of the problem with AIOZ is that I don't know a lot about, let's see, this might take a second. AIOZ, especially since it's a super chat though, I definitely think it's worth spending time on for a super chat. We've in this long downward channel. What are we doing here? Let's just take a look at a couple things. Do you know when it started? Let's see. If I went to crypto as a whole, when did this thing start? Okay, Coinbase had it pretty well back in March of 2022. Let's go back to Coinbase because I can use volume and other things. All right. So we recently hit a new all-time high. We hit an all-time high total here back in April. We're down from that high. 50%. Okay, so I made a video this morning pretty much saying if you're down 50%, can't guarantee you won't go down further, but that's one that whales will look at and say, man, 50% off, let me go buy some. We're currently sitting at 56 cents, and the last thing I need to take a look at, AIOZ, let's go look at some, this is going to be very rough, but let's just look at some tokenomics here. Tokenomics, yeah. All right, well, I see this does not tell me anything. Circulating supply and total supply are the same, but there's no max supply. All right, guys, I can't do the rest of this in this video because I don't know how many they print. If someone off the top of their head in chat can tell me how many tokens they print per month, per year, what their strategy is, that would help me. But at the moment, when I look at their circulating supply and their total supply being the exact same number, that to me tells me that I can't just take that information right there and know what the total supply will be like later on in the year. What I do know is that they're sitting only at 616 million in market cap. Ultimately, what I would tell you guys is if you can tell me for some reason that this will stay the exact same for the next year, my next question for you is, okay, how high can that market cap get? Can it get to 10 billion? Can it get to 20 billion? I don't necessarily know if I have a strong opinion on what I personally believe it could do, but whatever it is, you take that number, let's pretend you think it could 20x from current levels. All of a sudden, I can just take this over here, grab this tool and say, all right, 2,000%. I think that it could get to, if that was the case, We need to see $11.69 would be a 20x. Do I know that's going to happen for sure? No, I don't. And that's not one I can really help you out with because, again, you're in price discovery mode. Can't really help you. What I can tell you, though, is this is a very explosive chart right here. This has shown me that since October of 2023, people seem to like AIOZ. And even though we're trading sideways and we're down almost 55% from that all-time high, despite that not looking like a lot, that means that whales are probably looking at this level just like they're looking at Cardano and Stacks and Matic and others and saying, man, 50% off. This was a great buy back then. I'm buying 50% off what we were back in April. All right, let me gobble some more of that up. That's all I can tell you. I can't give you a real price prediction there, but hopefully that helps whoever is listening to it. More super chats. I've got to answer the super chats. Lake Tahoe, $10. Can you look at AEROBUD? They just doxed themselves and partnered with North Shore Animal Shelter, the biggest no-kill animal shelter in the world.
Wow.
I don't know anything about that, but I am all about animal shelters, but I can't look at the chart. So there's that.
Maybe on CoinMarketCap?
I would be surprised if that's on CoinMarketCap, but I've seen other things that maybe...
AEROBUD.
AEROBUD. All right, it's here. It's got a ticker of a golden retriever. That's probably AirBud. Okay. I'm not saying this can't amount to anything. This could be one of those things like if you are really into this organization and you want to support them, cool, great stuff. Market cap's at 2.36 million. Very hard to speculate and treat these things with a lot of knowledge and knowing what could happen. It's so small. It's brand new, I would imagine, also is part of the issue. Yeah, it just started not that long ago. Cool organization. Here's what I'll tell you. And even listening to what you explained there, I don't think that if I'm looking to invest in AEROBUD, I don't think my main reason for investing is because of the 13x or the 20x or the 100x that could be coming. This is a project I would assume is one of those cool things that you can invest in, maybe protect your money, but while your money is being utilized, maybe staked, I don't know what the tokenomics are here, but you know that you can lock up your funds in something that could be beneficial for a cause you believe in. If you're looking to trade or invest in AEROBUD to make money, you might need to look in the mirror for a second and rethink why you're even looking at AEROBUD because you're probably going to be disappointed. Look at those good-looking dogs. Abdul Amin gave what is that? What is CA? Is that Canadian?
Yes,
dollars?
That is correct, Tim. Canadian.
Look at me.
Monopoly money.
I might know a thing or two. Scale, long-term prediction, $2. I don't know what Scale is. By the way, guys, over 800 of you watching. I know some of you guys are going to be leaving because we're doing Q&A, but on your way out, please smash that like button. Abdul, I don't know what Scale is.
I think I've heard of that one before. SKALE.
It's not going to probably find, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it on that. Abdul, we'll have to look into it. We'll let you know. Lazarus Hand says, your opinion on Atom. I'm unstaking to sell. Is that a mistake? I know I like Atom. I haven't looked at a chart in a minute. Let's go take a look. It's down just like about everything else in the market. But if you took a long-term perspective here, yeah, I mean, it's hey, what people are going to say is Atom has pretty much been in a sideways trading zone. Let's take a look here like this. We're very close to that potential buy signal again. You also could potentially say there's a slight rising level of support to it, in which case we're sitting on it right now. But then you also have this very fat level of resistance coming in here as well. I look at this and I say, you know what? Just from a trading perspective, I think that you easily could buy in down here and get a move back up to the upside here because I think there's enough momentum in Atom to make that move. You're looking at a 2x in price there at the very minimum. I'll have to look into why is Atom performing so terribly. I liked Atom in the past, but I'll tell you this, Lazarus, if you're gonna sell it because there's something else you like a lot better, I can't fault you for it. That's not a terrible decision. But if your thought is I'm going to sell it because I don't think you can make me money, I think there's a pretty decent chance that Atom will reverse and be more valuable compared to the US dollar than where it currently is probably very soon. If you look at my chart again here, T-Sham, we're not close to support. We're close to probably hitting take profit, even if we dip a little lower here on 648. The oscillators are all massively overextended. Even here, LuxAlgo, bullish divergence, several bullish reversal calls here. Just printed bullish momentum, and the money flow is positive. So maybe hold that atom for a second and then sell it here a little bit later. You don't need to necessarily wait for it to double your money back and back up to 15. That might take a while, but you could at least probably wait until back up here where the smart trail is somewhere closer between somewhere between $8 to $9 before you exchange it. Because I do think that this chart looks like it's ready to make a bounce back up to that direction.
Yeah.
Trade institution saying loving the TA. Guys, here's the thing. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It is 4:05, and we're going to try to do a much better job of getting out of here. But our VIP trading group is about to go live here in about 45 minutes. I'm going to be driving home, doing it from home. But at 4:45, if you're in that VIP trading group, look forward to a stream where I'll answer all of your questions and more for an hour or so. If you want to be a part of that, you're not going to be able to get into it tonight because there's just too much you got to do. But you can go and purchase just by purchasing LuxAlgo. Not only do you get the best trading indicator in the game that helps you make money, that is your ticket. When you purchase that and you get into our Discord, let us know how you purchased it with your email. I can verify and get you into our VIP trading group. I'm giving daily insights. I'm telling you guys all about the trades that I'm entering and exiting. I'm also doing 2 live Q&As a week where we teach detailed thoughts about how you should approach trading. This is a group I highly recommend to you guys. And again, the ticket for admission is purchasing the greatest trading tool in the world. That is LuxAlgo. With that said, T-Shroom, anything else you got before we wrap up today's stream?
Why are you running?
Yeah.
Why are you running?
That's all I got, Tim.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. On your way out, if you haven't done it already, you got to smash like. I mean, still, again, 750 of you have stuck around, and we have 381 likes. Boys and girls, that should be over 400. Go smash like on your way out. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a single piece of content we put out. And with that said, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got your word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.